Coach, you had a big weekend against Georgia. Your team really competed hard. What's your assessment of your team at this point in the season?
Well, I was really pleased with the effort that our kids gave, and thought we had a solid plan. And I think it's a lot of things that you can build upon when you watch that tape. There's also a lot of things that we can be better at, that we've got to improve on, and we got to improve on as coaches and as players. And so there's a lot of good in it, and it hurt us to lose, and I like to see that, and it bothered me, it bothered them, and I think that's a good quality. But I say all along, you learn more from failure than you do from success, truthfully, if it's handled the right way. And hopefully this is I wish I was with our team today. I've been on the road recruiting, and I've been sweating a lot because it's very hot outside, and I've been at practices and things. But so I wish I was with my team to kind of get a sense of how they feel. But I'll see them tomorrow. But I do think that we will look at this as, we could have won the football game, and let's take the good and let it build confidence for us, and let's take the things we didn't do right that really hurt us, and go improve on those things headed into LSU.
Coach, this is your off week, first year at the program. Do you do something differently in the first year of a program during the off week, or you have something planned?
Yeah, no, I treat off weeks the same. I've done it all the time. There'll be recruiting obviously involved, which I've done today at a lot of schools, and speaking at events like in Birmingham at lunch, and tonight in Mobile, and spending some time with the Auburn people. Then we'll have 2 really good practices, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be a lighter practice, and a shell of it, truthfully, because most of the coaches will be on the road recruiting Thursday and Friday. That's how, and get some folks healthy, hopefully, also.
Since you mentioned about the scheduling, you said that today. Sorry to see the Georgia rivalry go, or so many words. But
yeah, let's really clarify that statement. I have no clue what's going on with future schedules. That hasn't come to the coaches at all. What I totally meant by that was there's a lot of great rivalries in our conference, and there's new teams coming, and I think it's going to be exciting brand of football for people to see Texas. But should there be years where you're not playing some, that would be, I'm sure disappointing to some people from certain years. But I have no clue what the future scheduling is, nor has it been discussed with us as coaches. I know what next year's is, and that's as far as I know. So I was using a hypothetical, and certainly hope everybody clears that up.
The excitement of the Auburn fan base so far. Talk about the atmosphere that they've created, not only in Saturday's game, but so far since you've been the head coach.
That has probably been the most, I don't want to say surprising thing, because, you've heard about the Auburn culture and the Auburn people and the Auburn family. But the way that they have embraced our new staff and our players and my family, and it's just been overwhelming and humbling, truthfully. And sold more season tickets than ever before in the history of the program, which is amazing to me, and it just tells me of their passion for Auburn football. And I haven't experienced a greater fan base than what I've experienced here. I think they're just the best, and Jordan Hare is an incredible place to play, and our people are super supportive, and I think it helps in recruiting. We had a great recruiting weekend, even though we lost the game. And a lot of that goes to the energy that is being felt from our people.
Not a lot of people can run the ball on Georgia. You guys did that pretty successfully. How gratifying is that, and how were you guys able to do it?
Well, it was, I think I saw a stat where we're the first team to rush for over 200 yards on them in 6 or 7 years. So that means we had a good plan, and our kids executed it somewhat in a good way. So I think we build upon it. I mean, you rushed against one of the best defenses in the country, and you should be able to do that week in, week out. And if we can clean up, the 3rd and 3s and 4s that really cost us in the fourth quarter. I mean, those 3rd downs on both sides, I think that was the difference in the game. Our defense couldn't get off the field on 3rd and longs, and we couldn't convert the 3rd and mediums to shorts. And I think that was the difference in the game. But you take, again, the fact that we did rush the ball on a good defense, and let's build upon it.
You've mentioned the word recruiting a lot just while we've been standing here, and I know that's been an important aspect. And There was talk about the previous group not doing that as well. How important has that been, and how important is this area to you?
Well, I wouldn't be here if I didn't think it was a priority. I think the whole state of Alabama is one that is a priority for us at Auburn, along with Georgia and Mississippi, and then we'll spot recruit a lot of other places. But Alabama's our home state, and there's players in Mobile and all across the state. And I don't think that that any head coach puts more of a premium on recruiting than I do right now. I'm not saying that I'm better or than others, but I'm saying I just find it hard to believe that there's some that are putting more effort into it. And I think that's what it's going to take to get us back in the game with some of the elite players. And that's why we're at events like this, why I'm at practices today and trying to do that. So it's the lifeblood.
Quarterback play through the first 5 games. What have you seen, and how much clarity did you get based on Saturday?
Say that one more time.
I'm sorry, quarterback play through 5 games.
Inconsistent. We're still searching a bit, not so much in the run game, but in the pass game as to what we really look like and who we're really going to be. And some of that is, when I say that, I do not say that that's all on the quarterback. A lot of it is on receiver play, coaches. It's a combination, protections, and the quarterback. I thought Peyton, of his 9 incompletions Saturday, I really felt like 5 of those should have been caught. And that makes a difference in those games, and it makes a difference in how you perceive the play of a quarterback. And so it's a combination, and we're still searching some. I've been honest about that, and we've got to improve.
You've received a lot of attention for playing Georgia close. Well, where does that set the program at right now, and where do you want to be going forward?
There's no moral victories in the SEC. I mean, does it mean we're a little closer to closing the gap? Maybe, but that's one Saturday, and you've got to do it for a long stretch in this league, and we're not very deep. And I think that showed in the fourth quarter, and it's concerning when you start talking about stacking a whole schedule together in the 12 games. I look forward to the day where we have a full recruiting class, if it's just one, to join our team to give us some depth. But we played a very good quality football team, really, really close. And there's a lot of positives you can take from that. But that one Saturday in and of itself probably doesn't qualify for us to say we've arrived at some benchmark yet.
Coach,
Go
ahead.
I was going to say the play calling Saturday. How much did you do, and what do you think during the off week, and how will you address that going forward the rest of the season?
It's a constant evolving thing. Obviously there's strengths to Monty's game of play calling, and I've done it for a long time. So we collaborate really well together, and we're still kind of searching for what is the best, what's best for our football team to win games. And this week I look forward to tomorrow. It's a lot of discussions will take place, but every game plan, I know what's on the call sheet, and certainly have the freedom to step in and make a call if I want. And so I approve that. And so Monty's made some good calls. We haven't executed a lot of calls that were really good. And then obviously there's things that I think I know that probably am better at. Because I was a high school coach, and I've had to play with a lot of different quarterbacks, and we've done some different things. And so, he's awesome to work with, and I think it'll be a good collaboration moving forward.
Coach, with your roster, optimistically, would you like to have a lot of transfers and develop players coming out of high school? What's your philosophy on recruiting?
Well, I don't know that it matters what my philosophy is anymore. If I had my choice, I would like to sign high school kids and develop them, and that's how you build a program. But that's the old way of thinking, and I've got to adjust my mindset some now. And I don't really know that any coach can answer that question, because you don't know how many you're going to lose, and thus that forces you, if you lose X amount, you've got to go get X amount out of the portal. So I don't know how to answer that question, and not, if I told you anything other than I have no clue, then I would probably be just making it up. But my preference would be to develop kids, but the process of becoming is kind of being lost. You know, it used to be where you develop a kid for 2 years, and man, his junior year, he's ready to roll. And is that possible in today's time with a large percentage of kids? I don't know. I think we'll see. This will be an interesting portal period to see how it kind of how everybody reacts to it. At some point, you would think it's got to settle back down to some people speaking some truth into people, saying, you know, stick to it, man, stick in it. Don't jump ship. Let's build something together, and that's what we preach. But I don't know exactly what it's going to look like.
What are the areas you're most concerned about recruiting-wise? You feel like you have the most emphasis for this next recruiting?
Position-wise,
Yes,
wide
position.
receiver. I mean, you say that O-line, D-line, quarterback, wide receiver, all of them are important. But we've got to get some guys in the receiver room that some depth there that can separate and win some one-on-ones.
Coach, the Ole Miss LSU game this past weekend, the result of that, and LSU is your next opponent. Did that give you some hope that anything can still happen the rest of the way?
Well, I haven't seen the game, so it's hard for me to say that. I know Ole Miss is very talented and gifted at throwing the football, and I don't know that that's our strength just yet. So I'd like to watch the game and see if it was a combination of rushing, passing, but it sounds like there was a lot of yards given up, and I don't know exactly what that means because, you know, our offense probably is a bit different than what LSU faced there.
Coach, talk about your defense so far. Been a pleasant surprise for you this season. They played extremely well, and Eugene Asante especially being a leader on that defense for you.
Very pleased, other than the few breakdowns we tend to have that cost us. If we could play a complete game like we played the first and second quarter against A&M and against Georgia, that would be nice. And again, I do think part of that is depth, and that we get gassed because we're not playing many people on that side of the football. But boy, they've played extremely well for some quarters, and I think we're the first team to hold Georgia under 100 yards rushing, and you guys can figure out how long, but I think it's been a while. And so they're playing really well. Eugene's a big part of that, and we're really thin there too after losing Austin Keys, and Eugene stepped in and is doing really well.
Getting DJ James and Nehemiah Pritchard getting back healthy, how has that helped your team coming as well?
Very much so, because they're having to play a lot of snaps, and we've lost Keontae, and then Simpson goes down in the fourth quarter the other day, and those are two really quality safeties, and so we're kind of thin back here. I love these young kids we recruited in the 23 class. They're just young, and when they go in, they do some good things and they do some not so good things, but I think they're going to be really talented.
Where have you seen the most improvements since taking over?
Definitely versus the run. Our run defense is the most improved part of our team, in my opinion.
We done? Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you.